Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all are staying healthy and fit. Welcome to another exciting episode of All My Days with Quraish podcast only on Let's Chat. Today's topic is all about future persona. We know that every person is individual, has their own journey and experiences. When it comes for the career, we always are in a dilemma which career to select. Today we have an amazing persona who will not only guide us in the terms of career development, but also will share her journey and also will let us know how the life is all about. Let's not take much more time. Let's welcome Nadia Qurashi, who is currently living in Dubai, working out here as an immigration consultant. Thank you so much, Nadia, to accept our invitation. Welcome to the next podcast episode. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, today's topic is all about future persona. As for your persona, your journey, it's different, unique compared to others. So, what's your first thought when our team approached you for the podcast? Because you seem so busy.
So actually, I was just live on TikTok. I was just talking about the profession I'm in, consultant, immigration consultant.
Wow. So you need to do something for us also.
Definitely, if anybody wants to migrate to another country, sure. So basically, I was live, and like I said, not only your podcast, there was like I think 4 or 5 different companies that approached me, but I was not sure whether I should, say yes, accept it. And as I said to you, I was really busy as well. But for some reason, I don't know, I accepted yours. I always wanted to be in podcast, you know.
Wow, yeah. And that's one thing which is very unique of our podcast is it's all about your journey. So are you excited to start our segment number one?
Yes, very excited.
So our segment number one is your persona with the youth. We would like to know who is Nadia Qurashi. How you been into a place of a consultant where your journey was not so easy as a fusion persona?
Born in Afghanistan, but obviously I had to leave Afghanistan when I was only 2 years old. Yeah, so I was a baby. And we migrated to India because apparently at that time my parents were saying it was not safe to stay, it was not, so we had to move to India. That was just for a temporary reason, but we didn't know we will be ending up living there for 7 years.
Wow.
Yes. So that's why a lot of people ask how I learned Hindi.
Oh.
Obviously, I learned
So
Hindi.
कैसी हो आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ.
Wow, she's awesome.
Yes, that's like my second language. So we moved to India, and I did some schooling there, and then after we decided to go back to Afghanistan, but for some reason my parents were not happy because still the situation was not that great. So luckily, one of my aunt who lives in Canada had sponsored us.
Wow.
So we ended up going to Canada. And now that was my dream country, by the way, to go to Canada, because still it's a lot of people's dream to move to Canada. So it was like a dream come true. When we landed there, it was not the same that we were expecting.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
So I was about 10 years old when we arrived. But I never thought what I will go through in order to survive. I was the second eldest child in the family, and it was not obviously an easy life. I had to start work when I was 11 years old just to support my parents to pay the rent and other expenses. I mean,
Yeah, that's true because staying foreign place in Canada is not easy.
not at all. I was a child, and but luckily I was looking a lot older. I was looking 15 or 16 years old, and legally you're allowed to work when you're 16. So I started working. I was actually running a big pizza shop inside the mall. It was not easy, obviously, because I was in school as well. I had to go to school and go to work. So that's where my journey started, and that's when I got to know who I am. That's when I realized that I'm a very strong woman. At that time, I was a strong child, and then eventually a strong teenager, and then adult, and obviously I'm a woman now.
That's really something which is unexpected to know because every woman are going through the same issues. Every teenager is going through the same phase, but luckily you are the voice for them today.
Yes, I'm the survivor. I
Yeah,
would say.
and this is an example which our podcast bring out that positivity can be in any form. It's
Exactly.
only how you bring out, how your things end up in UAE as a consultant.
Nice. That's a good question. So I was living in Canada obviously for 25 years. I was working I was working in the lawyer's office, immigration obviously, mortgage, real estate, every in restaurants I was working. So everywhere that I actually started working, I started like a very low position, and within few months, I was granted a manager's position,
Wow.
right? So that's when I got to know that I have that skills. I have that much knowledge that I could be a consultant. Also, I realized that I have that skills. Like I always try to act like the leader, you know. And plus, what I went through in life, the experience that I had. Obviously, I'm not talking about everything. I did realize that I have that consultancy in me. So actually, I was not choosing to become a consultant.
Hmm.
I moved to UAE to become a real estate agent because
Oh,
I was a real estate agent in Canada for about 6 to 7 years, as well as a manager in a real estate office. So I decided one day I was watching news. Actually, I was following UAE all the time because every year I would visit Dubai for a month. So last year I was just sitting watching the news and I realized that the market is booming.
wow.
And
Yeah,
then Dubai, yes, I
it's
think a lot of
growing. The
people know.
economy is booming like wow, and opportunities are everywhere.
Yes,
It's
yes.
how you grab the opportunity.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what, this is the best opportunity because my dream was to move to Dubai. And I wanted to say something about the dreams or these manifesting. I'll talk about it later. But that was my dream to move to Dubai. So I just needed an excuse to actually pack my bags and just move, you know. So that's what exactly did. I ended up moving. But I was doing a couple of deals here and there with the real estate. I was not even thinking of becoming a consultant at all. It was not even in my mind,
Oh
but
my days.
yeah, but sometimes what happens is this things comes to your way and you grab that opportunity. So I was doing real estate and all of a sudden I met somebody, which is my boss obviously, the owner of the company. I met him and he mentioned that he's looking for an Afghan girl who can present Afghans, who can help Afghan community in terms of immigration migrating to different countries. So because we have our team leaders, all the teams that are working, or they're all like from India, Pakistan, Nepal, Arabic, but they didn't have an Afghan. So that's when I said, okay, why not?
Wow.
And then I just accepted the job and I became an immigration consultant. But that doesn't end here. The reason I picked it because I worked in Canada as a manager at the lawyer's office immigration for 5 years. So I have that experience. It's not like I just grabbed the opportunity. I mean, I know that I can do well in this.
See, subhanallah, from where you started and where you came across, and here she's in our podcast. So this is a hashtag power of positivity, we can say. Now I would like to know, Nadia, that into a consultant or being into all of the career which you have chosen, something would be very common related to your life. That will be some challenges, some real things which people doesn't know how to face. So what are some of the challenges you have gone through during all these phases?
Okay, so during life, I always had to start from zero. This happened to me 5 times in life. I mean, I was here, I was doing well, and then all of a sudden I lost that opportunity. I ended up with nothing.
Oh
But
my
what I
days.
learned from all these phases of my life, all these challenges, that never give up in life. Never ever. Because if you give up, then you'll never get somewhere. And also set a goal as to where you want to see in 5 years, where you want to see yourself in 5 years. As an example, I always manifest, you could say, or imagine, or my goal was to move to Dubai. That was the biggest thing for me to do, and I did it, and I ended up moving here. You know what I mean?
That's true. And best thing she said, that hashtag never give up, because
Yeah,
it's life and Allah has good plans for everyone.
exactly.
Everyone, we are just moving around, but we never know where we'll end up.
Where we're gonna end up
But where
exactly.
we end up, that's the best thing which we do, because that's how the future goes on. So what's your advice for the youth who are interested to be part of a consultant or in real estate or whatsoever career as you were? So what's your advices to them for the beginners?
Well, my advice to obviously to youth is to pick something that they like. Let's not talk about my profession, right? This is for everyone with different fields. You have to choose something that you enjoy, and that's what exactly I picked. I like to be social. That's why I did social work. I like to be social. I like to talk to people because I have that confidence in me. But there are people that, or for example, today I'm here in front of the camera. I thought I will not be able to do it, but I mean, I'm talking with so much confidence, right?
Yeah,
So there are people that are shy. They want to be behind the camera, right? So this is for in general to all the youth groups out there. You have to pick something that you enjoy, that you love doing as a career. Because if you don't love your career, if you don't love your job, you'll never be happy,
never,
you know?
never. Follow your heart and do what you like. I know it will be not easy. You will
Exactly.
get some difficulties, but
Challenges, yeah.
don't feel that, yeah, it's getting other way. When you're following your heart, that means you're following the correct path.
Yeah.
So having said that, as you said that people are not same all around. They are different, and
Everyone's unique. Everyone's
yeah,
different.
everyone is
Exactly.
unique. So as Nadia, like, what are some of the negativity you have gone through from the people around, and how did you come out from such negativity?
That's a very good question, and I wanted to put it out there, to be honest. Um, so what I have learned in the last 2 years that I changed myself, to be honest, I was always surrounded by negative people. Negative in a sense that they were never anywhere in life. They would always think negative. They never believed in themselves. And I was there to guide them. I was there to help them. But I have a very best friend who has a stronger character than me, and she's obviously in Canada. I know her for 20 years. One day she sat with me and she said, Nadia, I know that you have friends around you and you love them, you like to hang out with them, but have you learned anything from them? No. And she asked me, what are your goals? And I said, of course, I want to be successful, a businesswoman. She's like, you will never get there. Why? Because you have surrounded yourself with the negative people. Negative people, we all know who they are. They're the ones that don't believe in themselves. They always talk about others. They cannot see anybody
Growing
better than
up,
them, right? And
yeah.
that's when I changed my life. I said, you know what? And I will give this advice to everyone that always surround yourself with successful people, obviously, business people, where you can learn from them and they can also learn from you as well. Because we always have to learn. We're never perfect, right? We
Yeah.
always have to learn. There's so many things in life that you learn. Nobody can say, I know everything. No, that's not true. You have to keep learning.
When you don't learn and you say that you know everything, that means you are the biggest strong person, because learning never ends. That's how
Exactly.
the life is all about, and that's what we learn, that every step you grow, the year pass by, you learn every day. Maybe
New things.
small thing, maybe big thing, you never know. So Nadia, having said that, the life is almost having a successful life, career path. It goes ups and down. Of your graph, sometime it was boom,
Yeah.
sometime it was low,
Mhm.
but at the back end you had your family also together to
Of
support.
course, my parents are my biggest support.
Yeah. So for a woman, especially a girl when it's from the Asia place or from Afghanistan or from any typical place like that, people say, "Shadi kar lo, ghar mein bitao, don't
Yes.
go outside." How your parents supported you and how you broke the stereotype?
All right. I'll get a little bit personal. That's fine. Actually, my parents were very broad-minded because my mom was a teacher in Afghanistan,
Wow.
and my dad was well-educated as well. And we come from a very rich background family. My dad from my dad's side, but that was years ago. So my mom herself, she got married when she was 27 years old in Afghanistan, where you're supposed to get married when you're 14, 15,
That's what.
right? And one thing, my mom is my role model. I am who she made me today. Being, as a, like you said, an African girl, like being culture, I had to like respect the decision that my parents made for me. And we always believe that the parents make the
Right
right
decision, right?
decision, which sometimes is not true. But anyways, just to keep them happy. So I proceed with this. And since then, I have learned a lot about relationships. It is not easy to marry someone that you have no idea who they are or which family they come from, their background. It's always good to spend a little bit of time, get to know each other. So that also made me a very strong woman, an independent woman, right?
That's what, that's why I always say Allah's plan is better than
Exactly.
our plan. So Nadia, being said that, what is the one thing which you love about your mother and that you follow in your life still? And also about your father, as we were talking about the parents, what did you learn from him so much, one thing that you follow still and you apply in your life?
Okay, to be honest, we were not close with my father. We didn't have good relationship because he was not around that much. He was around us physically, but mentally he was not around. So my role model is my mom. I've learned a lot from her. She has taught me to finish my education. I was in high school. I didn't want it to continue to college, because I got married, and she was the one that pushed me. She really pushed me to, because she was a teacher herself, and she would always support me in every decision I would make. Obviously, not the bad ones, and she would always guide me. And what I love about her, she's very positive, like very
Mashallah.
positive. Yes, and that's what I learned from her. That being positive will get you wherever you want to be. You know what I mean?
So what do you want to say to them if they watch this podcast?
Oh, I would love to say that. Thank you so much to my mom. Okay, to my dad, okay, but to my mom, like, thank you so much for being there. Till now, she's supportive, and even the decision I made to move to UAE, she supported me. Without even
Mashallah.
saying no, because she would always do things that would make me happy. So I would tell her that thank you so much for being in my life, because without you, I wouldn't be here.
That's true. Parents are the best blessing you've
Blessings, alhamdulillah, yes.
ever in the life, because Alhamdulillah, when they are there with you, you have Allah's all the
Support, all
support
the
in their
blessings.
hand.
Uh-huh.
So those who don't have, they know what it is they are missing. So having said that, Nadia, it's not only about the career, but also personally when you develop yourself, social media comes around. And social media plays a very
Big
good
role.
role this time because it's all about social media.
Exactly.
How social media has impacted your personal life as well as your development life.
A professional life. All right. I would say I used to be a social media person, 50-50. I had Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, I like to come in front of a camera. But but I was never a person to record videos and put it out there. Like, for example, I was practicing real estate in Canada. As you can see, a lot of real estate agents, they advertise,
Yeah,
posting videos,
marketing basically.
marketing, basically, yes. But I was always not into those. I wanted to do marketing, but I didn't want to put myself out there, because I didn't have that confidence. Because social media sometimes could you could have very positive people around
Yeah,
you, or negative. It can also ruin your life. It can also build your life. So you have to be
exactly.
very careful, and you have to know how to use it. So I was just posting pictures, and that's all I would be doing. But when I moved to UA, and just this is like 3 months ago, when that was my first time coming live as a consultant, in my profession on TikTok. And the first day, to be honest, I realized that within an hour, I gained 500 followers within an hour.
Wow.
And that's when I realized that I have that skill to be on social media, to talk. Again, you have to be careful how to use it. You know what
Yep.
I mean? You have to set your limits, right?
That's true. And it's not only about limits, but there's something called trolling. Have you ever
Yeah.
got trolled, or what are
Uh,
some negative comments you received and how did you deal such negativity?
actually, people obviously they don't leave comments on my pictures or videos. They actually come live. In the beginning, I would have one or two in my entire like 1 hour, 2 hour sessions. But now it's actually increasing, and I'm realizing that that's because I'm being a little bit successful. And for example, one would be writing. Mostly people we talk about my age,
Oh,
that oh you're old, this and that, and I would like, you know what? If I'm age is just a number.
exactly.
I like how I look. You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of people that appreciates my beauty, my looks, and I'm proud of that. So those things really don't affect me. But what I respond to those comments,
Trollers, yeah.
trollers, you could say, to those people, I let them speak because I feel like those are the people that need attention.
Oh, yeah, that's
Correct?
true.
Yes, that's just all about attention. So I let them speak. I even answered them. I answered them in a positive way, and some of them actually apologized, and they
Wow.
have agreed that they just need attention, my attention. But most of my followers or my viewers are very nice, very approaching. So
Alhamdulillah, see, that's what, something better, something good. everything's like a cocktail version because you never get everything pure. Yeah,
No,
that's
never. Of
how the
course,
life is all
no.
about.
You have to have,
I
yeah.
really don't want to end our segment number one. You have been such an inspiring and amazing persona, but
Thank
what to
you.
do, we have a limit of time. So before we then end our segment number one, my last question will be of segment number one is, as Nadia Qurashi, what's your strength and what's your weakness?
Strength is like I think I spoke. I mean, I've mentioned it that my strength is that I never give up. Okay, never give up in life. If I set a goal, I reach to that goal, no matter if it takes 1 year or 10 years. That is my strength. My weakness is my heart. I have a beautiful and kind heart. This is why I was being backstabbed so many times, and still I am. But that's just my heart. So my weakness is my heart.
Oh, dil to bacha hai ji, what to
Yeah,
do?
it has
With
to grow.
yeah, that's true. With that note, we are ending our segment number one. That's your persona with the youth, and you have seen how Nadia Qurashi has been inspiring us. And we'll move to our next segment number two, which is this and that. So Nadia, we move to our segment number two, which is this and that. In this segment, I would like to know what's your thought and what's your advice or what do you want to say for the youth. So, for example, there are so many women out there or teenagers who are thinking the marriage is only their last end. So
Option.
what's your thought in that and what you want to say to them?
All right, if we talk about marriage, then I can talk all day, but let's make it short. Marriage is obviously this all depends on the mentality or the culture, which obviously because I grew up in Canada, I think differently. But let's say we're talking about the community of Indians, Pakistanis, Afghanis, because they were brought up like that, that they have to get married, and marriage is the last option. Marriage is something that they have to get married, and life ends there. I mean, starts and ends there, but
Yeah.
that's not true. I think that do not focus on marriage, because if you focus on marriage, you lose yourself. You lose your goals. You lose the dreams that you have, while you're a child, or Um, I would say that you should be able to get married when you're fully settled, when you're fully a grown adult, so you can handle, because marriage is about, it's all about work. You need to make it work. You're working every day. It's not
Yeah.
like halas, get married, everything is like a paradise. No,
No.
that's when your life starts, and it's not easy. Marriage, again, I would say it's all about work. You need to work on it every single day. This is for women, not for men generation. So for women, my advice to you is that get yourself settled first before stepping into marriage, because you don't want to depend on your husband, correct? On
Yeah.
your partner. Be an independent woman. So even when you get married, you're settled and you want to, let's say you're working or have a business, continue. Do not be a stay home wife. You know what I mean?
When it comes to the savings, or you say that the, as you mentioned, that you need to settle down, be independent. So is it required to save all the money you have or just
Enough.
live also?
I don't believe in like saving everything, guys. Life is short. We don't know if we're gonna live tomorrow or not. This is how I am. So for me, obviously saving is something important. You need to be a smart person to save. I would not recommend you to spend everything, but you have to save to a point where, but not all everything, not all your salary. You know what I mean? There are people that have so much money, are saving and not enjoying life at the same time. What I think about life is that life is short. We need to, obviously, if we're working so hard, we need to
Yeah,
enjoy as well, because we are living once. You know what I mean? And we all know that we're not going to take money with us. It makes you happy. Maybe it will make you earn more money. You know what I mean? Because you're enjoying life, you're happy, and you will do well in your career, correct? Or in your business. So I would say that I would recommend, of course, you need to have some savings, because tomorrow God forbidden, you lose your job, or you come across, I mean, you lose what you have. At least you have some savings to cover it. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So
So that's true. Save but spend in a minimal way that at least you will live and you will be happy what you're doing on. So my next question would be diet control. So do you
oh,
believe in diet control, cheat meal? Now we're having a dessert, trust me. So what do you think about it? What do you wanna say?
okay. As you guys can see, I don't know, I'm just sitting, but I'm always fit. I'm always a fit person.
Wow.
And I get approached a lot by people I should try modeling. It's because of my height or because I'm fit. So for me, obviously, diet is something that comes first in my life.
Okay.
For me, I always have to look fit. And even if I have to sacrifice my whole day, meal, but that's not good. I'm not giving that advice. You know what I mean? You can diet, obviously the proper way, but for me, I don't look at it in a proper way. I just do what makes me look fit. So if I think that I don't eat all day and it will keep me fit, I will do that. Yes.
Okay, but that sometimes it's not good also, right?
It's not good, but I would say that one thing that I wanted to say to you, obviously I'm talking about both generation, men and women, both genders, sorry, that this is just an advice, it's an experience that I've seen that no matter how much you go work out, how much you go to the gym and work out, let's say it's only 20% of to lose the weight. Main thing is the food, right?
Okay.
The food is what makes you gain weight. And if you control your food, if you're in a good diet, you will always be fit.
With that note, I would like to know that about being moving out or settling to any other foreign place. For example, let's say Canada, Germany, and all that. Do you think it's benefit for the people, those who don't know about the place very well, or how it is if they want to move out? For example, I want to move out there.
Okay. So my first question to the individual would be like, why do you want to move out? Right? What is the purpose and which country? Because you need to have that in before moving to any country. You need to do a little research. Okay? Not everybody would say, there's some people, oh, madam, I just take me anywhere. I don't care. It doesn't work like that. You need to pick where you want to go. So let's say a lot of people here that I meet, they want to go to Canada. But I asked them why you want to go to Canada, right? You should know the country well. You should know the rules, regulations, the law, the nationalities there. So basically, I would recommend that if anybody wants to migrate to any of those Western countries or Europe, do a little research and see like, where you can fit into, which country, because you will not fit in all the countries. And obviously, no matter which country you go to, you will have to struggle. For the first 2 years, it could be the language barrier, financing, job, housing. There's so many issues. But not everyone can survive, to be honest.
That's really good thing because moving out is not only
No,
the
it's not.
excuse. You need to know why you're moving out, but most important is you need to know how stable you are. Stability comes first, then
That's
only you
exactly
move
it.
out. With that note, Nadia, we are ending on segment number 2. I hope every youth out there has learned so much.
I'm
And
sure.
this here we saw there's a contrast. Sometimes it's matching our thoughts, sometimes it doesn't, because it's only when a persona shares their journey, then only you know what's reality. So now we're moving to our third segment. That's my favorite segment, which is rapid fire. Let's see how
Wow.
Nadia plays and move our segment number 3. That's rapid fire. So in Nadia, in rapid fire, you need to answer all fast and no thinking. What comes in your mind, just
Just
spit
say
out.
whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and then you will be winning the food, which is hibiscus tea with the banana
Wow.
blueberry cake. So shall we start? Are you
Yes.
excited?
Yeah.
Okay. What part of your culture are you the most proud of?
Food.
And what you're least proud of?
The mentality.
That's true. What fact are you really surprised that people don't know about you?
That I'm so pretty.
Oh, wow. Who haven't you been willing to talk, but it's so long that you didn't talk. So if you want to talk to a person, who would be that and what do you want to say to the
My
podcast?
best friend from Canada.
What do you want to say to her? Okay.
That I really miss her and I need her guidance.
Well, I reach her out. She needs you. Okay. What is a quite possibly that most annoying thing ever you do?
Just go on TikTok. Spend my day all day on TikTok.
Okay. What's the 3 things you keep always in your bag?
Makeup, cell phone, and gum.
Oh, okay. If you could know one truth about yourself in the history of the world and the universe, what is one truth that nobody knows about you?
That I have a very kind heart.
She just said that. Really, I can see that. Because you gotta
Not
pay
a
the
lot of
bill
people
now.
know.
Okay. What skill do you wish more people take time to learn?
Patience.
That's true.
Patience.
What's your favorite word?
I love you.
Wow. What's your hidden talent?
What's the what?
What's your hidden talent?
I'm a good dancer.
Really? Which?
Bollywood.
Wow. So we will be having a reel soon. Okay. If you had to eat one thing from every meal you're going moving forward, what is the one thing you would love to have?
Obviously, rice. That's number one. I have to have rice in my
That's.
every meal, even if it's breakfast.
What's the first career you dream of having as a kid?
Bollywood actress.
Really?
Yes, that was my biggest or model. One
Okay.
of them.
Then who's your favorite actor?
Mm, I don't really have one, but I will go with Salman Khan.
Oh, what's the last text you sent?
Just before the segment started. And what did I? Oh, I had a missed call. So I just said, sorry, I missed your call. We'll get back to you.
Okay. What's one of your favorite memory?
Favorite memory when I did modeling for an Indian event.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Uh, who who's the best teacher whom you get inspired by?
my mom.
Well said. What does success mean to you?
Success meant to you a powerful person. Be powerful and never be scared of taking challenges.
Okay. If you had to choose only three adjectives to describe yourself, what would be the three adjectives?
Mm, that is hard to answer, but I'm gonna lose in this one.
There's the cake. There's the dream.
Three adjectives to describe myself.
Yeah.
Mm, oh my God, there's so many. Just three of them. That I'm a strong woman. That's
Okay.
one. I have a lot of patience
Okay.
and hardworking.
That's well said. What you're afraid of?
Water and
Or
height.
water for me?
I cannot swim, by the way.
Okay. Are you religious or spiritual?
Both.
Well said. What qualities do you admire about your parents?
They're very kind, very understanding.
If past lives are real, if somebody in the past you want to live upon, which personality you will choose?
I would say same because I love my personality.
Okay. Uh, any three wishes you want it should get fulfilled?
Wishes, yes, of course. I want to open my own business. Also become the top real estate agent in Dubai. That's what I came for. And the third one, happily get married with the dream, with the dream boy or whatever, with the dream man, with my dream man.
Yeah, you never know who can be there. So when I dance, I look like complete the following.
Oh, when I dance, like Sushmita Sen, Shilpa Shetty.
Oh, okay. If you get a yacht, what you call it?
If I get, oh, I'll be so successful. I'll be so proud to get a yacht. Like
Okay.
that would be
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you?
9.
That's great. Last but not the least, what's your favorite cuisine?
Indian.
And what's your dream car?
Not very fancy, but Mercedes.
Okay. What makes you angry?
When people lie.
That's very true.
Yeah,
But we didn't like her, but she's happy with us.
yeah.
So here you go. She did a great job in her rapid fire. And
I'm
trust me,
lucky.
Nadia, that's your
Wow,
gift.
thank
And
you.
it's a banana blueberry from Dark Cafe. Plus, we have the hibiscus tea. Last segment, it's all about to know that what's your wish, your
My
wish,
wish.
you want to get it fulfilled as soon as possible, and how's the experience with our entire podcast, and what do you want to say to the youth? It's
Okay.
all about you now.
Actually, this was one of my wish to be on a podcast. Doesn't matter if it's a small company or a big company. My wish was always to do a podcast, and which I became successful in, and it happened. So I would say right now that wish came through. So I have so many wishes, but this was one of them that got fulfilled. So thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And I love being on this podcast because everything was so natural. First, I was a little nervous because I thought, I'll be asked like questions that I might not be able to answer. Maybe some, you can answer all the questions. But it was so natural, it was so comfortable that even I'm willing to do a second interview as well if they invite me. So thank you so
Next
much
season.
for having me. I really appreciate it for giving me that chance. So inshallah, hopefully we will have another session about something completely different.
Yeah, for sure. And what's your advice to the youth who will watch this podcast and what do you want to say to them?
I've said that before, but I will say that again. That first, never give up, follow your dreams, and work hard because work hard pays off at the end of the day.
It's me signing out, Muhammad, and here's
Nadia Qurashi.
thank you so much to watch today's podcast, and I hope you will love it and you have got inspired with her journey because this is all about your persona. And remember that it's not only about women, all the genders out there, treat everyone as equality because that's how the life is all about. And make sure when you do any career or when you take any career decision, you make sure that it's for your betterment because at the end it's you who will suffer. At the end it's who you will get the benefits. So think about yourself before you think about others because that's how the life is right now. So thank you so much, Nadia.
You're very
I had a
welcome.
great time. I hope my viewers will love it. So thank you so much.